Kootoo Shaw was wearing nothing but long jeans and t-shirt when a 400-pound polar bear dragged him by his toes along the tundra towards the ocean outside Kimmirut, Inuit, in September 2003. Mr. Shaw, 46 years old, was working as a guide on a sport hunting trip when the attack occurred in the early morning. After the bear stuck his face in the tent, Shaw scrambled for a knife to defend himself, but couldn't find one in the tent. The captain was the first to flee the tent, and Shaw said he was quick to follow. If only he hadn't tripped on that rock. After dragging Shaw a few feet, the polar bear stopped, put his back paw on Shaw's back, and then fit Shaw's head between his fangs. This is the scariest photos what I have seen ever on YouTube. In that reason, we could not show the authentic photos of the attack, which left his scalp peeled back from the skull and his back riddled with scratches, gouges, and a gaping 2-inch hole.
And then he ripped my scalp like paper. It sounded like paper ripping. I thought I'm going to leave my kids behind.
Kootoo Shaw remembers. Amazingly, he never lost consciousness. The group's cook then grabbed a gun that belonged to one of the American sport hunters on the trip and shot the bear twice, killing the animal. He remembers crawling away from the bear. He remembers asking for a smoke. And he remembers the crew telling him they could see smoke from the cigarette escaping through a large wound in his back. Shaw remained conscious for the 1-hour canoe trip back to Kimmirut, his head wrapped in a towel to slow the bleeding. Once at the Kimmirut Health Center, the towel was painfully removed from the Shaw's head, partly stuck to the drying blood. He was then medevaced to Iqaluit, where he underwent 13 hours of surgery.
Whenever I go back to the hospital, some nurses and doctors still call me Polar Bear Man. Or if I'm back in Kimmirut, where I lived for 20-odd years, people say, "Hello, Polar Bear Man." I don't mind that they call me that.
At the time of the attack, the local hunters and trappers organization didn't allow Inuit guides to bring their own guns when they were guiding, but because of his brush with death, that's changed. Now Shaw has 3 scars on his head as a result of the attack, and he said he still has nightmares about it sometimes. Then he jokes.
Sometimes in bed I yell at my woman, "Get out of here, Polar Bear. Get off me." But I love her and she loves me.
The main difference between a polar bear and a grizzly is that it totally has no sense of fear of any human, which is usually abnormal for any animal. So, the only correct solution in this situation is to stay as far away as possible from him, okay, and never feed. It really is a killing machine.